Losing my marbles. Where am I? Should be on here somewhere. Well, there it is. Okay. Goofy smile. All right, I'll put this here so I can see if anybody has a question. So I got a question lately. Actually, I was talking about this the other day, and I figured I would pop on and show you guys. Someone asked me about my ink storage because I mentioned to them that Stampin' Storage has a 15% charity donation. I believe it is through today. I think it may end today. Hi, Debbie. But I thought I would show you, so I'm going to just flip that around real quick. We'll do a real quick craft room tour, and then I want to show you a couple things I made. Actually, Rainbow Stamper and I both made. We were using these old, not that old, stamp sets, but I wanted to make a few cards for Epiphany. So the Wise Men, Three Kings. So I'll show you a couple cards. Christian made this one. This is his card. And he's got a lot of wise men traveling. And then he decorated the inside. He drew the stable and Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus and the star. And I wanted to make a few of these, which is kind of why I never get rid of, I shouldn't say never, I rarely get rid of a lot of my older stamps because I will go back and use them. So this is one I made. This actually has silver embossing and then a little bit of the silver thread. Hi, Terry. And then I just stamped the sentiment on the inside. I actually used vanilla for these because we're kind of in between with Whisper White, so I figured might as well. And then this one I did in soft suede and silver, and then I actually die cut both of these from some glimmer paper that I had left over. And this die actually goes with the Night in Bethlehem, if you happen to still have this, the Night in Bethlehem. So the other thing I was going to show you is how I've been kind of restoring my dies. And then this one I thought was very simple. So I just did 2 layers of, so there's soft suede, which kind of creates the shadow. Oh, hey, Christine. We were just chatting. And then I did the same with, but I did the opposite. So instead of having the dark paper behind, I put the dark paper in front. And then there's a little white paper behind. It's a little bit hard to see. You can see it better in person. But this one I did with Blackberry Bliss. So I did Blackberry Bliss. I kind of went with purple because that's, you know, the wise men are supposed to be royalty of old. So hi, Amy. And then soft suede I kind of like because it's more of like a deserty color. So anyway, so we have 8 total to make. So far we have 5. He made this one and then he got tired and had to go take a break. So I made the other 4. But another thing I wanted to tell you was when you have these older stamps, so the Stampin' Up stamps, if you're not that new to Stampin' Up, they used to be called clear mount. And pretty much almost all of them, I'm sure a lot of you have this issue as well, is that I would never mount them because they never stuck. But I do have all the stickers. So what I've been doing is I've actually been going through putting the stickers on, and then I've been using little pieces that I have left from, so this one's from Tranquil Thoughts. I just got this one the other day, and I've been retro mounting these so they're sticky. So for example, just to show you, I have, and I'll show you on the back of one of these because it's a bigger piece. I have this very large stamp, and if you can see, kind of right on here, this part you can see is a little bit more of a matte look. It's just a little piece of that sticky strip that was left from another stamp set, and I put it on the back of this. So I do have a whole video on that, but I thought I would just show you guys a couple things just because it's pretty simple. And then the other thing I've been doing is I've gone through my stamps, and you'll see this when I show you. I'll go over here really quickly to show you the rest of the room. I'm kind of at a limit on space, so I figured what I would do is I rearranged where I keep my folders and my dies, so dies that maybe don't necessarily have a stamp set that goes with them. And I've actually, the ones that are retired, I've been pulling out the dies and putting them in the case. So my plan is I'm going to put these stickers on, which will free up this whole side. So then I'll put the stamps on this side, and then I'll lay the dies down, and I'll show you how I do that. But I'm just gonna pop over here, and this is another one. I know everybody loved this one. I kind of got a little bit farther with this one. As you can see, I did put the stickers on these, and then right there you can see it perfectly. It's just a little piece. That's really all you need. So if I were to dump these, these three have little pieces of sticker so they won't fall off, and then I just have to, oh, this one does too, finish the rest of them, and then I'm just going to keep the dies in the case. So basically it's just going to help me with storage because I don't have a huge room. It's like 10 by 10, but the furniture that's behind me, my grandfather made me that piece, and it's really big, so it does take up a lot more room than traditional furniture. And then I have IKEA stuff on this side where I kind of get as much stuff in as possible. So anyway, I'm going to flip you around for a sec, and then once I flip you, I'm going to show you how to mount this, so we'll go from there. And then if anybody has any questions, let me know. Christian did do a really good job drawing the stable because he asked if I had a stamp, and I said no, and he said, I'll just draw one myself. So creative, isn't he? Okay, so let me flip you. So this is, I'm going to back you up a little bit. We should turn this light off so you can see. Or maybe not, hold on. Maybe I have to redirect this, bear with me. This is going to be one of those kind of mobile videos, so I do apologize. I'm trying not to make anybody sick. Let me move my coffee out of the way. So I bought this a long time ago, probably right when I started really seriously deciding that I was going to do videos. So it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, 36, 40. Yeah. So it is a huge stamp thing. And I was like, it's going to be enough room. It's fine. I'm never going to fill it. And then I had to buy that little additional one over there, which they actually don't sell the little mini ones anymore, but that's a little single 12. And then I just bought the feet. So I have this propped up. So if I wanted to, I can stick stuff underneath of here. So you can see, you can slide stuff underneath of it if you needed to. So that was probably one of my best purchases from Stampin' Storage. And then the other thing that I have is over here, and you can't really fully appreciate this, but these are 2 ribbon holders, and they actually have little magnetic pieces that you can put in if you don't fill it up. That's a good joke, isn't it? If you don't fill it up. Never fill it. Exactly, Linda. You are 100% right. So those are 2 ribbon holders, which you can see are over full. And then I left a space in between so I could put my baker's twine because those tend to come on those same rolls, so they're a little bit easier to store. But the cool part about Stampin' Storage is you can buy stuff that's a desk mount, so you can either do desk mount like this, or they have a little thing you pay a little extra and you can hang it on the wall. So that's pretty cool. I do really like those. So then, without making anybody too sick, so don't judge. I know everybody has all kinds of stuff here, and avert your eyes. I'm trying not to show you anything I shouldn't be, but on the bottom, this is all retired. All the stuff over here on the top is current, and I actually just rearranged everything that I have. So these back here, I'm trying to match up with the dies. That way they're all together. And what I want to do is get maybe another slim thing and put all the retire ones over there against the wall so I can at least see them all, because it's really hard to be able to see everything that you have. And I do kind of keep them separated. Like there's layers behind those front layers, and I actually have the Christmas ones all together and the Halloween ones all together. But there's a lot of stamp sets that are retired, but I'm not a person that will buy something because I think it's going to sell. I only buy things if I like them. So most of the stuff that I buy, there are a few where I'm kind of like, it wasn't my favorite. And I have learned to accept that 2-step stamping is not necessarily my thing, even though I might really love it. It's just not something I do often. So I have lots of stuff in there for little kids and lots of old celebration sets that I really, really liked. This area here is just punches. They're all retired and new, so they're all punches all together. And then this bin here is the one I was talking about. This is where I keep all of my folders and my dies. And then I've been trying to pull some of the stuff out because folders you can't really match up so well, but I've been trying to pull stuff out And then anything that's beyond here is all retired or getting ready to retire. This is another item by Stampin' Storage. It's 6x6 holder. So I actually cut my foil down to 6x6 because I find it's easier to store and use. So that, and then my glimmer paper, black foil, all that stuff is kind of in there. Makes it a little simpler. And then I have most of these little white containers are from IKEA. Those are all card kits that I need to post and sell. These actually are t-shirt drawers from the Container Store, and I found that they fit cards absolutely perfectly. So I have these separated into kind of themes. I'll say they're very loosely separated as themes, but, and then all these in here need to go in there. And those are all the 12 days of Christmas prizes. So reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you go over and comment on a video, like a video, subscribe if you haven't already. It is 100% free to enter. So you can enter once every single day through January the 5th. And I think that's it. And then I also have this cart, which I got at IKEA. And they're all supposed to face up like this so they hold, but actually flip this one over so it would hold my Big Shot on top. And then this is a zoom out of my extremely, extremely messy workspace. So you can see why I always have avalanches. And then I have much more stuff up here. All my Stampin' Blends, some of my favorite cards. And I have my brand new Disney calendar, which I'm really excited about as well. So I'm going to just flip this back one more time. Make sure there's no more questions. And you saw a great idea online. Someone put magnet sheets on their wall. Ooh, that's a good idea. And then they had all their die cuts ready. You know what? That is a really good idea. The only reason I will say I won't do that, and I'm going to show you. Hold on. This is the only reason. Let's see if I can get this stack without knocking it over. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. If I do a lot of die cutting, the other thing I found is really helpful is those little clear envelope sheets, and I'll put all of the parts, and then I will put them, so I have my dies and my stamps, and I will put them in here because I find that if I don't keep them together, they get crunched up and then I can't use them at all. But that is a really good idea to keep your dies there, especially if it's one you have handy. That was the other thing I wanted to show you, and I put you down too quickly. But anyway, over here, I just got these from Stampin' Storage. So they are 5x7 magnet sheets. And then I bought the sleeves. So their magnet sheets have like a little bit of a decorative thing on the back. And then they have these little folders. You don't really need them, but... And then what I did was that big thing that I have my folders in, I actually bought a small one. So I'm going to put just these, these are like the ones I use most frequently. So stitched rectangles, ovals, triangles, nested, stars, squares, circles, and then the stitch shapes. I use all of these a lot. So I actually wanted to just keep these because I always feel like I plug in and then I forget them. So I was like, well, this will make it easier. So I got them recently from Stampin' Storage. So they're pretty convenient. And the one thing I like about them versus the way I was doing it is that this is really sturdy. So it's got like some sort of a chip board backing, and I mean the decorative part is nice, but do you need it? Not really, but it does make it a little bit sturdier, so they actually will stand up. And then if you put them in the sheet, you could always even pull these out if you wanted to, if you decided to do videos. And I know I've seen Angie Judah does that. She'll put like just the one she's using, so it makes it easier for her to film. So anyway, what I'm going to do is, before we wrap up, I'm going to flip this down and make sure there's no more questions I didn't miss. I knew you like the dies and stamps together. I think so too, because it makes it easier if you have it and you could just use it instead of like having to go dig for it. You moved 2 years ago, so I'm going to pack your stuff. Stop buying stuff. That's never going to happen. I say that too. I'm like, I'm going to stop buying stuff. I lie to myself a lot. Okay. Never fill it. Yeah, that still makes me laugh. Okay. And okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up and flip it down. And I'm not going to plug in my microphone because I'm not going to be super long anyway. So let me flip you around one more time. So bear with me. I'm going to try not to make you nauseous. And make sure this is up. Okay. Move this out of the way. So it's kind of fun sometimes just to see like what kind of space people craft in. Makes you feel like a little bit more, you know, like you're a little more real. So you do need scissors. And you do need, where's my, take your pick tool. And I use the flat, the spatula part, I find helps a lot. So I'm going to make sure I'm in frame. Yep. Okay. So these are the ones I haven't done yet. So generally what I do is I'll just find a piece of sheet, and I have, now one word of warning, they do sell these in strips in the online store. However, you've already paid for these, so you might as well just use these. That's just me being thrifty, because then you can save your money for other stuff. So one thing is you kind of have to, this takes a little bit of practice sometimes, but what you're doing is you're sliding your spatula in between the release paper and the sticky layer. So I don't know if you can see. Well, there you can see there. This is it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on top, and then that's it. So I'm just going to put this in here. Now that one just happened to be that centerpiece there. What I usually do, because it makes it a little bit easier, is I will kind of find something that's about right. Now the ones that you buy from the online store, they may have like little slits in it that make it easier. But again, I'd rather just save my money for more stamps or paper or something. So I just slide that under, and I kind of use this piece to help hold it. And then I'll just kind of eyeball what I think is going to fit. That's probably a little bit too big. And I'll just sit it on there and press. And then like this one has a little piece hanging over. So I'll just take my scissors and snip it, and then you can see. So then you have that. So the one thing is, and I've learned this the hard way, so that's why I'm telling you not to do this. You could just peel this off and stick it, but it doesn't stick as stickily, if that makes sense. I know that sounds like something Winnie the Pooh would say, but we'll see this. Right, this looks pretty good right here. And I find that if you do it while it's kind of still connected, it makes it easier for you to remove the backing. And for some reason, these little curves tend to pull off easier than the edge. And for example, I just missed that one. And sometimes that does happen, and I will tell you, once you kind of get the knack of how it works, it is a little bit easier. I know, as a matter of fact, I told Christine, who was watching this, I told her about this before. And I said, you kind of need a little bit of patience, and once you figure out how to work it, it does work really easily. And there's definitely still been pieces that I've thrown away because I goofed it up, but I figure I have so much extra stuff that really throwing a couple pieces away isn't too big of a deal. So I'm just, but again, if you have some piece of it that's still connected, it just helps you to be able to pull the release paper off a little bit easier. And I know you're probably gonna be like, that looks so easy. It isn't like the first couple times you do it, but if you get on a roll with this and you do a whole bunch of it at a time, you kind of get the knack of how to do it better. So you can see part of this is still connected, which makes it simpler. Just slide it under. And if you have one that's even too big, when I did one earlier, I actually put two pieces on and then I cut it in half. So it kind of worked well. So I have all my pieces here. I didn't press this one down. So most of these should, so you can see they'll stay now. And then the only thing I have over here is the magnet. I have done this where I've put adhesive on it and held it, and it doesn't really stay as well. But this adhesive that I have actually has double stick paper. So I could put it on there if I wanted it to be secure, but I don't know. I think I use some of these stamps so infrequently that I guess I'm just used to. This one is going to be a little bit tight because I don't want to cut that all the way. I guess I'm just used to it sliding around in there. Plus, it kind of makes it easier if you want to pull out the whole magnet sheet and work with it at once. This one might not work. So here might be the one where you see it doesn't always work. Let's see. Oh, nope, that one worked. Hold on, I got more than I bargained for. See if I can pull that. That little one. So this has a little piece that's overhanging, which is right here. So you can snip it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if it hangs over, but I guess it'd probably be a little bit nicer looking. And since this one kind of already pulled away, you can see it's mounted there. Whoops, came off. I'm actually going to just use, no, look at that. See, now it's stuck. I was going to say I'll use this little piece, but see if I can get this one to come away. There we go. And then I'll just pop this, oops, right on there. And I find that if you have really little pieces as opposed to the full sheet pieces that come in the new ones, they don't really tend to need to be, you know how when we mount the new ones you have to stick it to take some of the sticky off. These little pieces are so small that they don't really bother that much. You can see there's a little overhang here, but then so I went and I put all the stickers on and I retro mounted. I'm going to show you what I mean just with one more on this one. So with these, none of them have the stickers. So we'll just do the little drummer boy so you can understand. So what these stickers, and thankfully they finally changed it, but I wish they would have done it a little bit sooner. So then what I'll do is I'll take my stamp and I will line him up just like that. Okay, so you can see it has the sticker on there now. And then some people maybe you don't know and you're like, why didn't you? Because they don't. See, they don't stick. Unless you really force it on there, then it'll stick. But what you can do in between, find a, this one doesn't need, I'll just do this long piece here. Doesn't need to be probably even that long. So I will just slide my spatula, works really, really well. It kind of gives you that space in between. I'll slide that off. And then I'm just going to put him on that piece. So then you have this little retro mounted piece here. And it's perfect. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out. And then I'll probably end up finishing mounting these. But I'm just going to go back through here just really quickly. Make sure I didn't miss any questions or anything before I disconnect here. It does work really easy. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to with getting the paper separated. But I think it's still so much cheaper than buying a set of strips that already have things in them. What you probably could even do if you wanted to, and I think I did this once before. And let me see, where are they? You could probably even take a razor. So this is a craft razor blade. And you could probably do like a light split on the top. And I did this before, but I don't know. But it might actually help you to be able to separate. I think it was so frustrating almost that it wasn't worth it. No, that's working though. So you could even create little, like little splits in your stamp. So I did end up slitting that with this craft blade. So let me just mount this one because it's just a little piece. So you could try that maybe if you have arthritis. I know sometimes working with things like this does make me really frustrated, like the kind where you get so irritated you want to punch something. So if you do, just walk away for a minute or go get your little craft knife and then you'll have the little piece. The only thing is with these though, sometimes, you know what it doesn't do is it never splits the underneath part. That's why I stopped doing this. I knew there was a reason why and I couldn't remember what it was. So this is not sticking because it only slits the top, which makes it easier. So yeah, that's why I stopped doing those. I was like, I knew there was a reason why, I just couldn't remember exactly what it was. So I'll just pull the rest of this off and use this bigger piece. So I don't really know how the ones are that are in the book because obviously I've decided that I'm not paying for them. I'll just use the pieces that I already have. So I don't know if like underneath of them they're split or they're not split. And for example, what I was saying with this one is, so this piece is so big that if I had a little something or other here, I could put this on. So I'll show you what I mean. It's easier for me to just, might as well take a second and explain it. So kind of saving on sticky and time maybe this way. So I put my sticker on. And then I'll kind of line this up. Pull both of these off. This should come off now. And then I'll just take my scissors and snip in between, and then this one I'll do like a little bit of trimming. Just pull that little extra piece off, and same with this one. Just pull this little extra piece off there. So then both of them are fitted without as much work. So I hope that helps you guys at least a little bit. And I hope if not, I also reminded you to enter the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway so you can get some free stuff and I can clear out my craft room and start making room for some more stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching always. I do appreciate that you always tune in. And hopefully now, if you have joined me here on YouTube, you're getting very timely notifications to when I'm live. So at least you can catch me live. So thank you guys so very much. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve if you're going out somewhere, or maybe just having dinner in with some friends or whatever it is you're doing. I hope you have a safe New Year's Eve, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2021. Thank you guys so much for taking time to tune in to watch, and I'll see you real soon.